Yeah, I mean, you just keep working it. I think he said this the other day, but there's one option. You just say, we're going to go on one all the time. Right now, it's not an advantage for you anymore. The defense can get a jump on you. Or you can stay committed to it and keep working it and hold the guys to a standard, and it'll get better, and it has. It has drastically since we've started.
How much of that, like when we see the pre-snap penalties, we don't know necessarily. Sometimes you can tell it's a false start. Sometimes it's a legal formation, delay of game. Like how much of it at the end of the day does fall on the quarterbacks, and what can they do to make sure that the pre-snap operation is as clean as possible?
Yeah, it comes down to the pre-snap operation, like you're talking about, but that's everybody. I mean, we talk about the 4-2s all the time. We're trying to save 8 seconds pre-snap right before every play. So that's getting the call in 2 seconds faster. That's into the huddle 2 seconds faster. That's the play calls. We have to make sure that they're short enough that we can be in the huddle for 2 seconds less, right? And then we're getting to the line of scrimmage at 2 seconds faster. So it's really everybody. Of course, starting with the quarterback, but it's everybody on offense.
Are illegal formation penalties or illegal motion, are they more frustrating for you as a coach than false start penalties?
I don't know that either one is more or less frustrating. The ones that are most frustrating are the ones that take no talent, right? Because that's a direct reflection of what we're doing every day and how we're preparing and just our focus level. So I would say all those are kind of grouped together.
What's your philosophy on keeping running backs fresh?
As far as what? Elaborate. I think that if you have multiple, which we do here, you can roll guys in and out. You can use them on specific plays. Sometimes it's situational. Yeah, the more you can keep them fresh, the better.
Do you feel you've gained any certainty along the offensive line, given guys have been in and out, you came in with some question marks, and like, where do you think it is kind of in that process?
Yeah, we're working through that. Like, I don't know that we have any more certainty right now because, like you said, we've had guys nicked up, guys in and out, but that's allowed us to see some other guys too, which has been good. But that's something we're going to continue to work through here for the next, couple weeks.
With Mike Burton missing a lot of time, and Carson Ryan do everything you want from the fullback.
Yeah, he's developing in the backfield. That's something that it takes a lot of reps, to get good at that stuff. I mean, the picture changes in front of you. You have to be able to adjust. And Mike's been helping him out, which has been awesome, but we're going to continue to develop him that way to do, some of those things.
How difficult are these two quarterbacks making their job in terms of the decision of who to start this season?
I don't know if it's making the job difficult. I mean, it's honestly been a joy to be around the whole offense this whole camp. Just the way.
You made your decision difficult, not your job.
Okay, yeah.
How difficult are they making the decision to choose a starter?
I mean, we don't have to make it tomorrow, so I would say that that's probably a question for another few weeks. But both guys are developing very nicely. We know they're different players, but the areas that they need to improve on, they've both done that, and that's been very encouraging.
About Denzel Boston and Casey and just coming in, I guess how pleased are you guys with how quickly they've picked up on everything in this system so far?
Yeah, they've been awesome. I mean, for two young guys to come in and be able to pick things up as fast as they have, it's been very fun to be around, and we're excited about them. I mean, their ability to take things from the meeting room, then to the walkthrough, and then apply it on the field without needing 10 reps, has been really good, and that's a huge part of being a pro. So we're excited. Yeah.
You mentioned the offensive line and still sort of figuring some things out. Tom obviously mentioned yesterday, and we saw it that Switzer had kind of cemented himself as in that tackle spot. He wanted to get more versus with the ones. That Saturday was a big part of that practice on Saturday. What have you seen just from him from a development standpoint? Why was Saturday such a big practice for him?
Yeah, I think partly just Saturday, just seeing him continue to battle against a really good player, on the other side of the field, which was awesome. I mean, those are the type of guys he's going to have to block, on Sundays in the fall. So just seeing him continue to battle, and then he's refining his technique. I mean, the guy's extremely athletic. He plays hard. Like, those things are not going to be the question. It's just going to be refining those techniques that he's shown he can do, and he's going to continue to do that.
The promotion of Boston to ex-receiver first name means something new for Jerry Jeudy. So what are the plans there, and how is he accepting it?
Yeah, I think not just with Jerry, but with everybody on offense, we're trying to put them in the place that's best for them and then also best for the team. So what do they do well? Where can we put them in places to do that? And I think Jerry falls in line with that, and we're going to have a multitude of groupings of where guys are, especially when you get into the 11 groupings, with 3 wideouts out there. We're going to be able to move those guys all around and try to utilize what they do best.
When it comes to, kind of similar to what I asked before, when it comes to mastering the huddle, the pre-snap operation for quarterbacks specifically, what is the biggest hurdle for a young
I mean, it depends on who it is, but some guys haven't huddled, you know, so like that in itself is a huge thing. That's new. Being under center, that's new. It's just a lot of new things that they have to process, and it's a new language. I mean, every offense has its own language, and it's just getting more comfortable with those words and our verbiage, and then also just being able to command, you know, and knowing when guys are wrong, being able to fix things, being a quick processor, you know, being able to see it quickly and get it right quickly, and that just takes reps.
Todd mentioned last week that when the preseason games start, you know, it changes the experience for the quarterbacks because they can actually be hit, and that's something new for you guys to evaluate. How does the experience change for the quarterbacks when they're actually live?
I mean, yeah, I think you said it. I mean, we know that they're going to get hit now, so that's all part of our evaluation process. It's going to be a collective, you know, over the last, including the spring and training camp, what they've shown over that time.
When you talk about saving the 8 seconds, is that as simple as you just want the quarterback to be able to look at the defense for longer?
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge part of it. Anytime that you're under pressure trying to make a decision, the more time that you have, the less pressure you're going to feel. So, I mean, we talk about that all the time. Like, you wouldn't want somebody who's operating on you to walk into the operating room late, sweating, doesn't look like he's prepared, right? So, yeah, if you can be more prepared and have more time, that relieves anxiety, and that's what we're trying to do.
Two questions. The first is, what time on the clock would you like the quarterback to be on the road?
I mean, it depends. I don't know that there's a certain time. We're always looking at the 8 seconds that we can save. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if there's like one time that we're trying to get out. We just don't want him to feel anxiety, you know, before every snap.
Over the last week, it looks like Gabriel's gotten more reps with the twos. What's behind that?
Yeah, I think some of that is just kind of fallen that way. He's done a great job. I mean, he's developed, and so has Talon. You know, all those guys have really developed nicely.
Does the fact that the quarterbacks are kind of rotating with the ones, from a standpoint of like the voice is different, and maybe the intonation is different with some of those cases, how much does that, or is that to you believe impacting some of the pre-snap stuff or some of the false starts?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would have said early on that guys were getting used to both of them, and now we have less of that. And I just think that the more time we do it, the less of those things that we're going to have, and they've improved. So guys have gotten used to them, and they've improved. It's kind of been both sides that have attributed to it being better lately.
And then how much can you help a quarterback tweak? Because again, like DESHAUN's voice is going to sound different than SHEDEUR's voice, obviously. But how much can you help him tweak so it almost does sound the same? Is that something you work on as well?
Yeah, I mean, you just practice it. Like it may feel weird, but you're in the quarterback room or you're at home and you're just practicing your own cadence. There's recordings of it as well that they can listen to get feedback, you know, to hear themselves. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty much as simple as that.
How important is it to get your starting 11 working together as soon as possible?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think when we figure that out and when we know, then we'll move in that direction because that is important. But they've been, you know, working with all the guys already. You know, we've been rotating guys in and out, and they've gotten those routes right, that timing with everybody. So yeah, I think we'll be in good shape.
Travis, when you look at DESHAUN's first week, when he had like 6 interceptions the first couple of practices compared to week 2 that he just wrapped up, what was kind of the difference for practices?
Yeah, I think part of it is just getting used to the offense. I mean, we're now done installing, so it's not. I mean, we did all this in the spring, but it's not all new every day anymore. So I think that's a big piece of it. There's a lot of variables, right? I mean, there's that piece. There's the protection piece, right? And being under pressure. There's miscommunication on routes with wideouts and a quarterback that has to get ironed out. You know, there's a lot of things. But really, all of our quarterbacks have grown leaps and bounds as far as getting through progressions faster, knowing where their outlets and their checkdowns are, and getting the ball to those guys when it's appropriate.
When you talk about the different personnel packages you guys can use, do you have like an idea or a goal of, you know, you want to be in 11 X% of time and whatever as you go through, like setting up for a game plan?
Depends on who we're playing. I mean, we're going to be in whatever grouping we think is best for us that game, and then within that, it's going to be multiple every game. I mean, I strongly believe that you need to regulate defenses somehow. So there's a lot of ways to do that. You can go fast, right? That's one way. If you're not going to be subbing personnel a lot, that's probably a bigger piece of what you do. Or you can make them deal with multiple personnels, right? A run game helps regulate defense. They're not allowed to do whatever they want because they know they have to fit runs and all the coverages they play, right? So there's a lot of things that go into that, but personnel groups is one of them.
Another question about Carson Ryan.
Not as much of the backfield stuff, I don't think. But he played in line. I mean, that stuff he's done.
But not in the back.
Yeah, not as much in the backfield. But like I said, he's learning that and he's developing. And Mike's been great with him. I mean, I see him talking to him all the time. That's probably better than any of us would be at telling him about those things. This guy's done it for a long time at a really high level. So.
Does Joe Boyer not being here impact your ability to play 12 personnel or 13 personnel?
Yeah, I mean the numbers just with where we're at times. Anytime, and this happens every training camp. This is not something that's unique. Sometimes you'll go in one morning and you get an injury report for the day and you have to tweak the script. It's like, hey, we can't do as much 12, and you have to flip a couple to 11, which has happened, but that's every year.
You guys were going against your own defense for so long at this point. How valuable an evaluation tool will next week's joint practice, especially with Buffalo being, you kind of get that practice setting, you can sort of set it how you want to go against a different defense?
No, I think that's very valuable. I mean, outside of games, that's probably the most real evaluation you can get, and it's going to be a different style, I think. I don't know, we'll find out in a couple weeks, but yeah, that's a very valuable piece. We've done certain periods just separately on offense, working on other defensive structures, because we know what we're getting, from our guys, which is very difficult. But we have to work on, the things that we're going to see, especially early on in the season, and we've done some of that. But the joint practice and the preseason games will be a huge part of that.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.